My journey for me in wine started when I lived in London, and I think being in such close proximity to countries that have been making wines for hundreds of years and likely even centuries definitely opened my eyes up to the world of wine. And I found myself to be quite intrigued about understanding the different notes within the wine, as well as even understanding the process of how that wine and fermentation process, the wine was actually made. So that was the starting point of opening, and my understanding and even love for wine started there. I received my master's in London. I was able to take advantage of the low cost Ryanair, EasyJet to different countries on a student budget. Just don't make sure that you stay within their parameters of bags that you can carry on. And it was great. Got to visit Croatia, so many different countries along the way. Of course, Italy, France, the normal ones that are right there close to London. No, it was just understanding, just enjoyment of it. Not really even, it still kind of felt like, okay, it feels different, but I don't clearly understand the notes that I'm detecting. So it was just trying to understand more of it and just really uncovering, what is that? I know I'm tasting something different. Is it a nut? I don't know. I didn't know a lot about it, but I knew I was intrigued to want to learn more. And that's where the kind of excitement about just enjoyment of wine came from. But venturing into wanting to understand more into the intricacies of the wine didn't come until I moved to the Bay Area. Just tasting the wine, just the education process came from tasting a wine. And I'm so grateful to where along the way I met great friends, and actually one of our head somms who's level 3 somm. And understanding that him and having friends that were somms got me deeper into trying to understand, tell me more. And they found that I was quite interested in wanting to learn more about the wines and understanding the intricacies of the wine and also the regions and the terrain of things. So that's where that love came from and the education aspect came from. I actually am studying as well too right now currently, but again, I'm at the very beginning of things because my love and passion for fly wine started just from loving wines and wanting to represent those underrepresented wine countries and bringing them to the U.S. So we do have a head somm who's Giuliano Mano, and I always say that he doesn't really count because he's like a 4th generation somm. He's Italian, but he's very high up. He's a level 3. So we work together to look at these wines, highlight the ones that we think will work well with the American palate, that will enhance the palate, but not be so far different to where people won't be interested. Literally, it's coming up on a year now. Being in business and starting into the wine alcohol business is a totally different thing. Those are 2 different aspects. It definitely took some time. We started this venture back in 2021. I always share a little backstory about how it came about. My mom passed away out the blue, and it just really put a trigger in me. And at that point in time, I was working in the tech space, the advertising, marketing technology space. And I really wanted to pivot. Had no idea what I would do or how I would do it. And a light bulb moment came up during the pandemic, sitting with a friend. And she said, I had some terrible wines. And it was just like, these are terrible. And a light bulb sitting on the stoop hit me. And I said, you know what? I think I can do this. And my friend just looked at me, just very like, what? And something just propelled me forward. And I'll never forget telling my good friend who's our head somm, Giuliano, I was like, let me start this company. And he's like, okay, let's do it. And it just kind of went from there. And for me, I'm naturally inquisitive. So trying to loving wines, but now understanding the back end of how would you even develop or create a wine? Like, how does that shift happen? So finding out who ABC was, that's a lengthy process. So you get through one hurdle, hooray! Oh, now you got to go to TTB. Who's TTB? And why does the Tobacco Trade Bureau have anything to do with wine? As well as even the FDA in wine. Oh, it's food? Oh, it's grapes. So it was definitely a process and a curve. So I say that to bring to light of 2021 was the first kind of getting the wheels and chains going. By the time you come up on a year later, okay, great, now we can launch. Oh, we need to change our license a bit. So we launched officially in May 2023. I make sure my team and we took it one step at a time. So I have a tendency, as well as myself, if I would have seen what it would take to get to this standpoint in the beginning, I would have gotten discouraged because we just literally took it one step at a time. What's the application from ABC? And simply to where even I, per se, would just call someone and be like, hey, I really don't understand this question. Can you let me know how I need to answer this properly so we can get this license? And if you come to people in a very humble way that have been in those industries for years, they're happy to guide you along the way. And that's what happened with us, where we just took it one step at a time. We got the paperwork in for ABC. Oh my gosh, 9 months later, 8 months, 6 months later, we finally got the approval because we didn't want to use a lawyer that would cost thousands of dollars, because we knew we needed those thousands of dollars to actually start up for the product. So taking it just step by step to saying, we got ABC done. Oh, now they're like, you got to go to TTV now. Who's TTV? Let's talk to TTV and see what do we have to do there. Oh, do you have the DUNS numbers for the wine? So we got the DUNS number for the winery in Turkey? Okay. So it's taking it step by step will allow us not to get overwhelmed by the process. And then, of course, you look up a year later and you're like, wow, we've done a lot in a year. And you don't realize it. Definitely discipline, and everyone is different. Us being an importer as well as distributor and wholesaler is so different depending on who you're even working with on the wholesale end. Some just right away, and then others are like, oh, well, we have to come back, and it just takes them some time. So I will say, and not being more patient, but acclimating to who you're actually interacting with is a better way to say it. So it's just depending on that person and understanding their pace, you acclimate yourself to that pace so that they feel comfortable. At Fly Wines, we work with independent wineries exclusively from around the world, and we bring them into the U.S. So all the wines that what we bring in can only be found and purchased through us. The reason being, we're building up their whole entire distribution within the U.S. And why is this important is that a lot of these international wineries is such a huge barrier to entry into the U.S., and it requires a ton of marketing dollars within it. So most of the time, they just stay within those regions and they export maybe to other countries nearby, and that's it. So for us to come to them and say, hey, just work exclusively with us and we'll build up your distribution chain, they love it. So they're like, okay, this is perfect for me. And they don't have to worry about different people and different hurdles because we help to guide them along the way through the process. We have two different ones right now. We have Italy, but we're focused on Italy within those regions that are not popular, so very much so northern Italy and then Umbria region. And then we have Turkish wine that's in as well too. And we're moving towards Georgian, Moroccan wine, and even Slovenian wine that we're going to bring in soon. Oh, you can find us at Fly, F-L-Y, Wines, W-I-N-E-S, .club, C-L-U-B. So we're not the .com, we're .club, C-L-U-B.